Andranatishan, Elvin, Shemlin's Dwarvan Canary alike.
And welcome everyone to Left of the Fade, the Thedosian podcast for one human, that's me, Rose.
And one elf, that'd be me, Thorn, from opposite sides of the Frostback Mountains.
Delve the deep roads of the Dragon Age franchise to shine light on some topics that we feel haven't been given enough attention.
Please join us as we journey through the dark and the light.
And walk the road less traveled to the left of the fade.
Well, hello there, ladles, jelly spoons, and other socket kitchenware. We are here today to discuss mods.
It's been a bit since we last recorded an episode.
It has been.
Life happens sometimes.
Your girl had the beer bug, the beer blight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elf had the beer blight. But hope happens.
Been probably almost 2 months since our last episode, but
month and a half.
Month and a half, something like that.
Because it was New Year that we brought out the last one. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. So, but we are excited to be back.
Yes, yes, we are.
And with Thorn having been sick and neither of us really having been in the mood to prepare anything properly, we're just gonna do another lighthearted, easy one for you all, just to sort of transition into coming back here.
When you're lying in bed for days on end, all you're doing is watching Critical Role on YouTube. It's there gets to a point where you've had enough drama and sorrow and dead characters, nail biting stuff, so you want to just dick about a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, apologies for the dick about episode, but things have been a bit tense recently.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can't say anything about that other than they have been tense. That's
Suffice to say, we had been planning on. We can say this, I'm sure. If not, you'll cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great editor. We had been planning on recording not long after January 6th, but we changed our minds. Let's put it that way.
We weren't really in a place,
Yeah.
Even Thorn doesn't live in America. It's still
that hurt.
Hit her pretty emotionally too. So and then she got sick, and it happens. Life happens. It's do what we can, but we are
same poop, different toilet. Sorry, yet another Thornism. Yet another Thornism. I'm sorry. I just keep I'm dropping them like pepperoni bits through the entire thing.
Yeah, well, we were hoping that after the inauguration we might be in a better headspace, because we have a different president now. We no longer have this.
There's no overinflated orange man baby with a merkin for hair.
Yeah.
Threatening to blow everyone up all the time.
There's no fascists in the office now. So
no,
but Thorn got sick, so here we are. And we're happy to be back and finally doing this. So,
and we return, as I sort of drearily said at the beginning. Apologies for that. We are back with a discussion on mods for the Dragon Age games, and as a little bonus and aside, as I'm not particularly, on the ball when it comes to Dragon Age mods, I have my own personal list of Sims 4 mods which are Dragon Age related. So, that is what we are bringing to you today.
Yeah, so
apologies. I don't know why I just did finger guns at my PC like people could see me.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. I didn't know what you were doing.
Like, what is wrong with me? Wow.
Oh well. Now people can picture it.
Yeah. This weird little ginger elf with dreadlocks making finger guns. Oh man. Can't even do me sometimes. Anyway,
apologies to everyone who plays on console, as you don't really get mods for Dragon Age console players.
I will be honest, I was mostly a console player up until, like, this last year.
Mm-hmm.
I did play PC games, but I never played Dragon Age or that on PC. I'm a PlayStation chick, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On PlayStation, I have been my entire life, pretty much, so I pretty much played on PlayStation, and I had no idea just how much mods can improve your game.
Oh.
None.
Oh my gosh, like, I can't play without mods anymore. I find it impossible, and as we go through the list, I know you know about some of these, but I'm not sure that you know about all of them. Now, these are, I think a lot of these, if you play Dragon Age on PC, you probably know about a lot of these. Some of them, maybe not so much, because I think there are some that are personally I like, because I'm a little whiny baby and I don't like to fight, and I like the game to be as easy as possible. Because I just want the story.
Not that I would necessarily, I mean, I know we're quite different in a lot of things, but I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to make the game harder. I don't think I've gotten any further than, normal difficulty level on any of the games anyway. So,
there are mods out there to make easy easier.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not that much of no. Still an angry Scottish elf who wants to hit things with sticks. I'm not that non-violent,
Occasionally, when I am really stressed, I do want to fight things, but it doesn't happen that often. Most of the time, I just want to chill out and just enjoy a story. So,
You know that bit in the Avengers where the Incredible Hulk has finally learned how to control his transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "What? Don't you need to get angry?" And he's like, "That's the thing. I'm always angry." And I'm like, "Me and stress, yeah." Like that's my secret. I can deal with stress because I'm always stressed, so,
Yeah. See, I feel like I'm always stressed and I don't know how to deal with it. I just don't operate properly.
Yeah,
I just have days where I'm more stressed and some days where I'm less stressed, but I'm always stressed.
That's just life.
So by no means is this a complete list. There are many, many, many other great mods. These are just few of the must-haves and personal favorites. I also don't have, I say I because, as we said, Thorn did not really play on PC till recently, so she is not as informed on these.
I'm still getting into the enjoyment of mods for Dragon Age games, but one place where I definitely do have some knowledge is Dragon Age mods for Sims 4, and that's where I come in. Yeah.
Yep, and I don't have a lot of knowledge of that. So yeah, I will be covering most of the mods for the games, and then Thor's gonna come in later and talk about the Sims mods, because they just, a lot of people who play Dragon Age, there just seems to be some overlap, also play Sims, everything, so we're just gonna cover both of those in this episode. But as said, this is not a complete list, and there's a lot of mods that I use that are not in here, just because this would be a ridiculously long episode and I've talked them all. And most of the ones that aren't in here are cosmetic mods that are completely, it's not game-changing or anything, it's completely cosmetic, it's completely personal choice. They do nothing to enhance the gameplay except how pretty your Warden or Inquisitor or Hawk looks. Or your romance. So that's all it is. And I use, I think, only Nexus for mods, but it is not the only source. I would say it's the main one. But I've seen a lot of great ones on places like Tumblr as well. So. Okay, so to start off with, in Dragon Age Origins, there is, and I will have links to all of these mods in the notes, but the sort of going in what I personally think is most important or most loved to least or just my personal, it's only me, it feels like it was made just for me. We're going to start off with the Origins Faster Combat. This mod was made by user Dragon Age Fun. Once again, all of these are on Netflix. Oh my gosh. Netflix.
That was class. That was brilliant. Oh, you're leaving that in. You're leaving this in. Like, I don't care if you fucked it. You leave it in. Like,
I wish you could have seen my face at that point. I just stare at the wall like, really? Are you serious?
I'm picturing this sort of confused, but also, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, did I seriously say that?
What the fuck just came out of my mouth?
Nexus, not Netflix. Nexus. Some of these would be really dangerous to have on Netflix.
It's easily done, right? Don't worry, it's easily done.
So yeah, Dragon Age Fun on Nexus mods. I think we can all agree that the combat in Origins is slow. And,
I do believe I made a comment somewhere along the line, so don't even get me started on Archer when we were discussing the game, so yeah.
Well, this mod makes it faster, so it's not as excruciating. So, and it's very, very helpful, so definitely one to look into. And then by Taylor17387, we have Skip the Deep Roads, or it's also called Shortcut Through the Deep Roads. And, I mean, the Deep Roads
I believe
suck.
I have this one.
It sucks. It absolutely sucks. What I like about it versus, like Skip the Fade, which is the next one we'll get into, I like that you can have it installed, and instead of just straight up skipping the deep roads, it gives you the option. It gives you, I want to say it's a Genlock, who comes and stops. It's like, hey, we'll take you directly to the Broodmother if you want, you know. She was in favor of you, something to that effect, and you can
Which
just
seems
skip
a little
all this.
canonically ridiculous, but
it
at
is.
the same time, I'll allow it.
We all know it's a mod, though. We know it's not canon.
Yeah, I know. But I mean,
I like
you
that
know
it gives
the lore
you the
we're
option.
in me is like...
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
Can't help myself, I'm sorry.
Because then, like, whereas some of these other ones, if you decide, you know what, I'm actually going to do this time, you'd have to actually, like, disable the mod. This one, you don't have to. You can actually say, no, I'd rather get there myself and go through the deep roads if you decide to do that. You don't have to disable the mod or take it out or anything like that. It's right in there, and I really, really like that, because then you're given the choice. Because sometimes, for lore, I do want to go through the deep roads. As much as I hate it, I will be sitting there going, fuck this, fuck that, I hate that, no, go away, I don't want to do this. But I do it. I actually did it. The last time I played it, I did it, because I'm like, I need to refresh myself for the podcast. So I have to actually go through the deep roads. I have to actually go through the Fade. They both sucked. I hated them. But I did it.
Yeah, I mean, I only recently found out that, a little bit of an aside, well, actually not totally unrelated, because you just mentioned my least favourite Origins mission, we all know is going through the Fade. I actually didn't know that my favourite character from in that part, Niall, is actually voiced by one of my favourite voice actors, who happens to be a member of the Critical Role cast. So I was just getting that out of the way. It's just an added bonus, yay for me. But always good to learn new things that you didn't know before. So Liam O'Brien, if you ever hear this,
Now that you say that, I have to put this in here as an aside, just because it was really funny. I did not notice it for a few days, but so my husband writes. We have one of those dry erase calendars, and so he writes in all the holidays, and he wrote Valentine's Day on the 14th, and like we don't. I mean, we celebrate it because we're married, we're going to, it gives us an excuse to do stuff, but in reality, we don't really care. It's just a commercial holiday. It's just a holiday to make money, and its origins are it's problematic and stuff. So, he wrote Steve right above Valentine's Day.
What?
Steve Valentine's Day.
Oh my god.
And I didn't notice it for a few days, and I noticed it the other day. I'm like, wait, when did you... He's like, you're just noting that? That's been there a while.
Right. I want you to do me a favor, right?
What?
I want you, right,
to
at some point send your husband a big old fat gif of Alistair blowing a kiss or something like that, right? And I want you to tell your husband that comes directly from me, because that is quite possibly one of the best things I've heard this year. We all know my second love to McCullen is my Alistair, right?
Yeah.
And Steve Valentine is just a wee gem. He's just a wee gem of the Dragon Age universe, and we love him. Right?
I had to tell you that.
Yeah, that was brilliant. You can see my face right now. I've got a huge grin.
So yeah, as we mentioned, Skip the Fade, by HD. And I mean, it's just, you skip through the whole where you don't have to change into the spirit and the golem and the fire, all of that. You completely skip that part because it's confusing, and I would actually say in some ways I think I hate it more than the Deep Roads, because even though the Deep Roads is longer, the Fade is more confusing.
Yeah, that's literally why it is my least favourite mission in the entirety of that game. And there are some dumbass, boring missions in that game, but that...
I've had to use a map to get through it, and in fact, the last time I played, I decided to go through it without a map. It took a while, I eventually did it, but oh man, it sucked. Yeah. I hated it.
I'm a fucking glutton for punishment, right? And you know what I'm like, I get frustrated at myself if I can't do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I refuse a lot of the time to use online maps or anything like that I can look at and go, well, I need to go this way or anything like that. No. I'll use the game map, the mini map that's on the screen, and that's it. That's actually one of the places that I looked up a map to try and get out of, because it was so bad the first time. It was so bad, I was like, I have no idea where... I've done that mission so many times now, though. I can pretty much fucking speedrun it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it, but because I was playing on console, there was no possibility for mods, so I had to play it countless times, especially when my PS3 crashed and lost all of my saves and I had to start all over again. And you can't see, but I actually have a twitch in my eye right now. That's how annoyed I got. That's how annoyed and frustrated I got. Legitimate twitch to my right eye right now, remembering the time that my PS3 crashed, and it's not the first time, nor was it the last. I lost my saves from Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2 so many times with that PS3, I was overjoyed when I got my PS4.
That is so sad. I'm sorry.
The life of a past gen gamer. I'm a previous gen gamer, because perpetually broke. So, it's the truth. Like, I never have any money. So,
No, I get you.
The fact that I managed to get myself a PlayStation 4 fucking ever shocked me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I have far off distant dreams of getting a PS5 in 2026. This is how bad it is. So, you know.
Do you have this is completely unrelated, and I could actually cut this out if you don't want to see the episode. Do you have an Epic Games account?
Epic Games? I do not.
Okay, because the thing with Epic Games is it's PC only, but it's free to make an account, and they offer, it's like 1 to 2 free games every week.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look into, and we've gotten a few free games. I think we got The Witcher 3 for free on there.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Every week they have a new free game, so it's definitely something to look into. So
awesome. Leave that in. Leave that in. I don't mind the fact that people know that I don't have an account, that I might have one at some point. It's not like they're going to know what my name is on it. But, you know, I also think that's a good idea for other people out there who are, you know, like me, perpetually skint, as we say in Scotland. So, if you're, for whatever reason, you don't have the money to spend on computer games, take your backside out there. Get them there.
Yeah, it's good. We've gotten a couple out of it. I mean, for the most part, my husband gets every single one just because you never know when you're going to want to play it. But I only get the ones that I'm interested in. But yeah, he goes and just grabs everyone that's free. And so now we have all of these games that we didn't pay anything for. So, but yeah, it's definitely something that's worth checking out.
See, I'm like you. I will be honest, right? Mm-hmm. While I have very little money, I do sort of have the ability to occasionally. Well, I've got PlayStation Network. Mm-hmm. Because there are a lot of games you sort of need that for, which sucks. But it also comes with benefits, like monthly free games. So, again, I do get free games through that quite often. But, like you, only ever the games that I'm interested in. Like, if they don't interest me, I see no point in them taking up space on my hard drive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think you can claim them without downloading them.
Yeah.
Because that's what my husband does.
Well, that's alright then.
Yeah. But yeah, so the thing with the skip the fade is, like, you just basically skip all that and go right to your companion's nightmares. And then you just go through and do that, and you're done. Like, it's... I've literally I've taken all of these, like, you know, skip this place, skip the deep road, skip the fade. We'll get into the skip fight later. That's...
Like, Rose, do you like Dragon Age? Do you even like Dragon Age?
I do like Dragon Age. I like the story. I just don't like the fighting. It's funny, that's actually a meme. It's actually a meme where you're like, like, you get to the deep roads, it's like, I hate this part. You get to the fade, I hate this part. You get to the werewolves, I hate this part. You get to Landsmeet, I hate this part. And they're like, do you even like this game? Why do you play that game? How dare you? This is the greatest game ever. And I really feel like that sometimes.
Okay, that's the greatest game. Well, sorry, like, the old school me is coming out right now. It's one of the greatest games ever. But then again, you can't play Dragon Age with other people in person. Yeah. Right? And you know my love for Dungeons and Dragons. So, I suppose you could play Dragon Age with other people in person, but, you know, you'd have to do it D&D style, and I know there is a Dragon Age D&D out there before anybody has a go with me. I'm planning on dipping my little elfie toe in that at some point in the not too distant future, hopefully. So, you know, watch out for that.
You know what's funny? I've realized I don't like to fight in these games, but I love playing politics, and I think that's why I like the mission with the werewolves,
Yeah.
a lot, and, like, I like the lands meet and stuff. I love playing politics. And I think that's, like, one of the biggest draws to me is when we can play politics, I'm, like, rubbing my hands together.
Yeah,
like,
see, I quite enjoy
like,
that
yes.
as well.
I get to do this.
I quite enjoy that as well. But then again, you and I are both naturally diplomatic people most of the time. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely times when this little redhead of mine becomes a little more red and I sort of go kaboom like Mount Etna. But for the most part, we're both quite diplomatic people.
Mm-hmm.
So, some would say natural politicians, but without the slime. Because that's true, we're about as slimy as a fresh beach. It's lacking. Sleazy, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, your Fenris thirst is out of
Speaking of, do you like Dragon Age? Let's get into the real reasons.
The entire reason why this list is being made in the first place. Let's be completely fucking honest here. And, meow.
Meow, yeah.
I didn't do that. Let's forget that happened. Okay? None of y'all heard that. Nobody heard that.
No,
okay, if you're listening to this, as a true bard, I cast Modify Memory, and none of you remember that, okay?
You know what's funny? I don't know if this is in defense of my love for Fenris or against my love of Fenris. I don't actually download a lot of mods for him because I think he's already perfect the way he is. That I don't want to alter. I hate all of the hairs that they have for him. That's a personal preference thing. I prefer his hair in game. As it is.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Most of the clothes, there are a couple that I want to try out, but I haven't actually gotten that far in Dragon Age 2 with the new Fenris mods yet, that I want to see how they look. But, yeah, I just haven't. Like, he's perfect the way he is.
I take issue with people modding Colin's looks as well, so don't worry about it. I get it. Because I'm like, why, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't fuck with perfection. What are you doing? Leave my man alone.
I have one. All it is, and it gives a little tousled hair curl onto his hair, and that's it. Doesn't do much, but it gives a little curl.
Colin.
One little stray curl. Yeah, on Colin. One little stray curl cool. Falling in front of his eyes. That's all it is, though.
Yeah, good curl.
There are
no, I'm going ill. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
There are also mods to make Cullen and Origins look like Inquisition Cullen. By the way,
I'm turning into the e-girls that are ruining corpses. Like, I'm like ill. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Can we forget I ever existed and just go, like...
Should we just go back to the mods?
Yeah.
And then we move away from what I think I would consider, like, to be useful, and more into the, more cosmetic well, I mean, okay. Yeah, I guess. I was gonna say, Skip Fight isn't really... I'll talk about that first since I've already mentioned it. So, Skip Fight, by Mosep, is I refer to it often as the insta-kill mod. I refer to all of them as insta-kill. That's not actually what they're called. If you look up insta-kill on Nexus, you will not find it. Skip Fight is just, you literally get, like, one button to put in your bar, and you hit that button, and it instantly kills all of the enemies, and you can just go around and pick up their crap and be like, do. That was easy, you know?
I'm thinking maybe we should try and link as many of these as we possibly can.
Yeah, I will.
That's YouTube in the description box.
That's why I grabbed all of the links, so I can access them later.
Awesome.
But yeah, so it's just, you literally just hit one button, you know, You can do it through the console too, but this makes it so you don't have to type it in every single time. Just hit one button and everyone's dead, And between skip fights, skip the fade, faster combat, and skip the deep roads, I have, just for the attention to see how fast I could speedrun this game. I think there is one fight that you can't skip the fight of, because then it'll bug and you won't be able to kill it at all. There's one that you have to actually fight, but I can't remember which one it is. So I went through and did all of that to speedrun it, just to see how fast I could get through the game. That also meant that I skipped through the dialogue. I just kept hitting skip. 3 hours. It took me 3 hours with these mods and skipping the dialogue to get through the whole game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, Rose, you should record yourself doing that and put it up as a speedrunner online.
I mean, maybe.
Pretty sure that's pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, like, 3 hours. Now,
I'm going to do something really, really nerdy.
Okay. Now, that being said, I can't remember what origin I did. It might have been different if I changed the origin, because I know, like, the dwarf origin, the dwarf noble origin, I think is the longest origin. So I don't remember what origin I did, but I think it might have been human noble just because I had already seen it. I think all the choices were ones that I had already seen, so that way I wasn't tempted to just stop and read them, so...
Yeah. I was actually Googling to see if anybody has actually speedrun Dragon Age with mods. And it's probably happened. There are definitely plenty.
It might have been on a stream Dragon or something.
Possibly.
I just don't think that would be very entertaining. People be watching me skip through stuff. I don't know.
I think watching it would be quite ridiculous. If I'm honest. But, you know me, I'm all for, like, trying everything at least once.
Yeah. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe in the future. But...
if no you, probably me. I mean, I'm the one with the gaming channel.
Yeah. So... Anywho. But yeah, that was a skip fight, and honestly, I really think that mod is probably only preferred by people who are like, they just want to see the different choices and don't care about the fighting, or if they're like me and they're big whiny babies and hate fighting. It's not a more popular one, I don't think, but I love it. So then we're gonna go and talk about the Sacred Ashes mods. I do not like that both Leliana and Morrigan are not wearing the outfits that they were in the Sacred Ashes trailer, because personally, I think those outfits are a lot cooler looking.
Yeah.
So there are some mods for their appearance. Now, for Leliana, her hair's a little bit different, and her face a little, well, I guess you could say Morrigan's face is a little bit different too. And there are mods to change their faces and make their hair a little bit smoother and everything. For Morrigan, I don't download that hair and face mod because personally I think she looks close enough to the trailer that I'm not bothered. However, Leliana, I do. And so there's the outfit by, I think it's pronounced Sir A mods, even though I want to say Sira mods, because their name on the page was Sir A, and it was spelled that way, so I'm gonna say Sir A mods. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And then the face and hair is by X Evolution, and I just think, it just looks so cool and pretty and badass, and I just prefer it. And then Morrigan's is just the robe, and it no longer looks like a scarf covering a bra, and then, like, that's it. Like, it's a shirt, It's still sexy, it still shows off the beautiful chest there, but... Yeah. So, I don't know. I just like it. It's nice. It doesn't add much to gameplay. I just appreciate it.
Yeah. But, sometimes aesthetic mods... Get your teeth back in, Thorn. So, sometimes aesthetic mods can actually be, some of the things that improve your game experience and your, immersion experience in the entire thing. Brain not working this evening. Apologies, peeps. Aye.
And there are some beautiful mods out there.
Aye.
I'm afraid to download too many of them because I'm afraid it's gonna ruin my game for some reason. Mm-hmm. So there's some I kind of pick and choose.
I'll admit
have a lot. So
I will admit to you straight up that I fucked up. I fucked up my Sims on my PC by having far too many mods on it when one of the updates came in. So I ended up having to delete them and re-download them and the whole thing. But yeah, so I totally understand that concern. She says, given the fact that she does nothing but download CC mods for her games.
Oh, and then the Morrigan Sacred Ashes robe was by Roughnut.
Awesome.
And then the extra dog slot, because I think it is criminal that we can't have our dog with us at all times, and they count as a companion. Unlike
that's
the second game, when you can just have your dog with you, and it doesn't count as a companion. That was very unfair. So this makes it so you can have your dog with you at all times, and not take up a companion slot. And that's all it does.
Yeah, but that's cool though. I like
that.
That's
by D. Huster. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Barkspawn needs to be with me at all times. That is my father.
Yes.
And I love he. And he is not allowed to leave me.
Okay.
How dare they make me leave him in the camp where he's unknown? Or left with Sten. Fuck me, no. Why would you do that to the poor fucking dog? Because let's be honest, nobody takes Sten. Sorry, it's true. It's harsh, but it's true.
I know for a fact that is not true, because I actually know a couple people that adore Sten.
There's at least one person in the Left of the Fade Discord group who loves Sten. I'm aware because their name is Stenfucker. But beyond that, hardly anybody takes Sten. Be honest with yourself. Admit it!
Yeah, not a lot of people take Sten. Yeah.
It's true. Very difficult character to like, in my opinion.
Well, okay, so my thing I don't have hate for Sten, but that's because I don't know enough about Sten to hate him, if that makes sense. I don't feel like there's a lot there. So, but that's just a thing, personal thing. Now,
never forget the man freely admitted to murdering an entire family.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next one.
Now, to Thorn's delight, you will be happy to know that there are a lot of special Alistair romance mods. Now,
you've told me about this already, and I'm pretty sure I have a few of them. I'm always willing to expand my list.
Only have a couple on this list because the other ones are more like they just add an extra scene. Alistair doesn't really do much. It's just a scene to look at. It's like nothing incorporated into the game. There's the wedding scene, which is nice. There's one that's called Fear, I think, and it's just Alistair thinking about the killing the Darkspawn and what that will mean for him, or the Warden if he's in a relationship, or his friends, or whatever. It's just him freaking out and being fearful. There's if you do the dark ritual, and especially if you're in a romance with him, how you react, how sad they are. There's a lot of goodbye stuff and all that. But those are basically just scenes. The two that I really like are both by Andrastini, who is amazing.
Many things.
She has wonderful Alistair mods. Her thirst for Alistair is unrivaled. Except maybe by you, Thor.
Oh, no. Even I know of this individual, and even I know that my thirst for Alistair is far outdone by theirs. Far outdone.
It's very, I very much appreciate their their little mods and their appreciation for Alistair's form.
Physique. His physique. His chiseled Greek godness.
And occasionally...
Damn, that man's got a body. Especially when Andrastini has anything to do with it. Num num num. Tasty Grey Warden.
So there's the eavesdropping mod, which is really, really nice because it takes the little conversations that Alistair may have with other people, like when you're walking or whatever. It takes those conversations and just sort of puts them in a scene. And what it is, it's basically just you go and sit on a bench and you listen in on your companions talking, and a scene plays out, and they're just really nice, and they really add something, and they're adorable and everything. They go everything from the cute conversations to,
Alistair and Morrigan ripping each other to shreds. I would imagine. Because, 50% of the game is Alistair and Morrigan bitching at each other.
Yeah, or when Wynn is telling Alistair, be careful, you have a duty, you're a warden, don't be...
You can't follow it, you're not... You should put your duty before your heart and stuff like that.
Yeah. My favorite is...
the only thing that makes me hate Wynn, by the way.
Yeah. No.
It's the only thing that makes me hate Wynn, because I'm like, life is too fucking short.
Well, later she apologizes.
I know that's later, true. So. That is true, but that's one of the only bugbears with that character in that entire game. Because I love Wynn. She's like...
Yeah, she is.
She's my Dragon Age granny.
Alistair wants her to sew his clothes. I love that.
He's adorable. He's so adorable. He a thirst trap, right? There's no two ways about that. The man is a thirst trap, but at the same time, he is one of the most adorable, precious things that exists in the Dragon Age universe. Why am I doing that emoji face with the two fingers touching each other in the adorable face right now?
No, I get it. He is adorable.
I've watched too much Plumbella, that's what it is. Jessie, get out of my head!
Oh, I think my favorite one in that mod is the one where it sort of Zephyron kind of comments, catches Alistair after he's coming out of the warden's tent, naked, using a pillow to cover his bits, and sort of catches him and sort of comments on his performance.
Yep. See, this is the thing about Zephyron. He's incapable of keeping his gub shut.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
I suppose that's part of why I love him, because he does speak his mind.
I think he does it all caring and concern.
Even if his mind is perpetually in the gutter, right?
It's not the time and place. Your heart is in the right place, but this is not the time and place to be talking about this. So
yeah.
I get that.
His dirty mind, yet another reason why I love him.
Yeah. And then there's just the Alistair revised romance, which gives you a little extra romance scenes. You can go for a walk. You can, I think, go and bathe together. And I don't even, I might be wrong, I don't think it's really a sexual bathing, it's sexy, but it's not it's just very cute and intimate in a different way. You can go and sit, especially after Duncan dies. Alistair leaves alone because he needs to be off alone, and you can just go over and just sit next to him, and you're just sitting next to him. And he's all sad, and you're just there. It just adds little extra scenes, and they're so cute.
Just a quick technical question.
Yes.
do these extra scenes give you any extra, what's the word I'm looking for? Approval?
No.
No.
I don't think they give you extra approval.
I was just wondering,
yeah. I don't know.
I always end up with maximum approval with Alistair anyways.
Well, worst comes to worst, you can just buy those presents that are 50 approval points, and you're done.
Here you go.
Those gifts are a little OP. They really...
Yeah, that's true.
That
is true.
You can immediately get approval.
And I managed to make Morrigan go from hating me to pretty much being my best friend in 3 gifts. It's what
yeah, I know. No, I don't think magic? There was a way to make those scenes give you approval. I think Andrastini just did what they could.
No, it's all good. It's still a mod that sounds utterly amazing to me. I mean, I do believe that at least for a good 30 seconds of your description, I turned into the heart eye emoji. Mm-hmm. So that
and there are Zevron ones like that too. Yeah? But I personally don't think they're as in depth as the Alistair ones.
Yeah.
So. But that's just a personal thing. They're still nice. They're still good. I still like
Were they also created by Andrastini?
I don't think so, but they were created, I want to say, by a friend by Andrastini. Or at the very least, Andrastini used, credited them and, used a lot of their mods for their videos. So, I feel like they're friends, though. I might be wrong, but I feel like they're friends. And then, as, there are so many hair mods. So many. They're so beautiful. But, because there are so many, I can really only use, a couple. Otherwise, it'll be overloaded. And so, I just use a couple of packs. My favorites are Hairstyle Day by Shepshai and Anto Hairstyles by I Am Pizza Panda. I love that name.
That is an epic name. That is an epic name. I Am Pizza Panda, you have won the game of names. Seriously.
Delicious and cute.
Yes. Mm-hmm. If a little cheesy.
Oh my gosh.
And the elf swoops in with yet another
Thorn.
Horrendously bad pun.
Thorn, that was unbearable.
I love you.
And I just think their packs, they have a lot of hairs in them. They're all really nice. So if you want just a couple mods for a huge variety, they're good ones to go to. So
what I will say, the only thing I will say about any of the hair mods, I do have a couple of hair mods in my Origins game that I have discovered especially in your character creation. There are some that don't quite mesh. The ends of the meshes look really strange.
There are
I don't know if that's just my game or if
I would have to look at it.
Glitchy. Yeah. I'll show you at some point. You'll know which ones I'm talking about.
There's a couple that I would say look really shiny. There's one that's I really, really love, but I feel like I can never use it because it looks really shiny and not the way that hair is supposed to look.
Yeah.
But modding is hard,
Definitely.
I'm not going to fault them on it. Modding's hard. I can't do it.
I wouldn't even have a clue where to start. I have no idea. I can barely even work Sim Studio. Okay?
Yeah.
There are people out there far more talented than me, putting in far more work than I could ever imagine putting in, because I'm a bit ADHD, and I'm not even joking. I have no attention span. None. So, it could never be me that was producing this kind of content for people. I just couldn't. Well aware of my limitations. These people get so much respect from me, you have no idea.
If you get a couple hairstyles that don't exactly mesh well, but you have a ton of others that look great, I'm not going to complain.
Yeah,
No.
me either. I mean, it was just a mild thing that I had noticed because Origins is what I've been playing recently, so... Well, not most recently, but I mean, most recently on the PC, I've been playing, like, Sims and Origins, so...
Yeah, it is what it is. You know, we'll take it, so... and then... I put these last because I had a feeling Thorn would want to save them for last. I would say they're probably some of the most favorited, most endorsed, most downloaded mods for Dragon Age Origins. And that would be the Better Sex Cutscenes by Luchair? I'm gonna guess that's how that's pronounced. I'm sorry if I butchered it. And then Natural Bodies by Altorian. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're exactly...
Yeah.
Okay, the sex in Origins is really, really awkward and strange and weird. So the Better Sex cutscenes just makes it not as awkward. And you can go anywhere from, like, just slightly improved Origin scenes, so it's just better, like, positions and better camera shots.
To Inquisition level scenes? Because, I mean, I have this mod in my game right now, and I am sort of, as I play through it, I'm trying not to go for Alistair, but we all know I'll end up with Alistair. So, I kind of want to know. I'm looking forward to actually getting to use this mod. I'm not gonna lie.
There's the medium, which just adds a little bit more spice, but I would say it's still pretty vanilla. You know, I personally think it's just less awkward sex is what it is. And then there's the zesty, which I have not seen, but I'm just gonna let that stand for itself.
I think we all know that's the one I'll be going for.
Yeah. I went for the medium because I am still a little bit of a prude, and I'm like, nah, the zesty is not where I'm at. But then,
for all your Fenris thirst is like out of fucking control. It is the purest, most, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Wait, how was it you put it?
You're gonna make me say that!
No, I genuinely cannot remember how, like,
wholesome thirst.
Literally, okay, I would be lying if I said it didn't pop into my head just before you said it, and I was like, a bit, so that you didn't have to, and then you did anyway, and I was like, meh.
Let me put it this way. You had fully naked Fenris. While I appreciate a fully naked Fenris, I find a shirtless Fenris wearing very tight pants more attractive than a fully naked Fenris. I want to hop on the Fenris with the tight pants more than I do on the fully naked Fenris. It's weird. I'm weird, okay? Like,
You're not.
It's like I like a little bit of mystery. That's sexy with me.
That's perfectly normal. That's not weird. Right. My mum, right, one of her favourite things with a guy used to be, you know, jeans. A guy wearing no top, just jeans, but with the top button undone.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I am with my mum there. Like, seriously. Num num num. There is just something about that extra added mystery element that sort of, it gives it a little bit of extra flavour, I think. And yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Sometimes just entire nakedness is a bit much. But then you've got, I'm not going to go into my proclivities.
It's okay, we don't have to.
Yeah. Next.
Well, I'm just talking about the natural bodies a little bit.
Yes,
So I originally did not have this downloaded because, to me, the thing is, I personally think this mod is very, very complicated. I don't use, there's, like, a couple different, like, modding systems, and the one that you need to use this, I don't like to use it. I can't even remember the name of it right now, but like, there's a certain one that you have to use this one with natural bodies. You can't use the other one. I used the other one for all of them, and then I only downloaded the other one for natural bodies. Now, I did not care about it, personally, but the thing is I really wanted Zevron's tattoos, because he talks about, I'm covered in tattoos, and then he's naked. It's like, no, you're not. But in order for his tattoos to show up, you have to have the natural bodies mod. So I downloaded it, I swear to God, just for the tattoos. I would not have cared at all. But, yeah, so, and it has a little system where you can choose the body style and everything. You can choose, like, smooth, wet. Like, it gets very complicated in some of the terms. I'm like, I don't know, what does a wet skin look like? And I feel like
blinking for a solid 30 seconds as she tries to figure out what the fuck a wet body type looks like. Like, excuse me? Are we talking about Slimer from the Ghostbusters here? Or?
It's like shiny. And
okay.
And then you can choose
3 hours of exercising at the gym wet then, okay.
Big hands, little hands, and that's sort of like the bigger hands are for the humans, the small hands are for the elves. Like, there's a lot of little things to choose from, which I find a little complicated, and that's why I don't like to use it. And then you can choose if you, like, want the bodies to be perky, like big breasts, little breasts, like, it's how do you want the women to look? There are different shaven styles down there. There's a lot of choices. A lot. And so I'm like, I don't want to mess with this, so I'm just gonna set all of the men to erect so I can have the sex scenes and not even look at that. That was a bad idea, because then I go into it, and suddenly I'm also seeing Ogren naked and erect, and I'm like, that is not what I want.
Well, that is what I want. That is what I want. Okay, excuse me, what now?
Do you want to see Stead naked with an erect penis?
Curiosity's sake.
Because that's what happened too, so I'm like, okay, I need to go back. There's a lot of settings. And I bring it on here because it is very popular. A lot of people want that, and it's great. It is a good mod. It's very well done. It is too complicated for my tiny brain to understand. I have it for Zevron's tattoos, and that's literally the only reason. I would not care if I did not have it. But, I mean, you probably would want it.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, you're speaking to someone who plays The Sims on the PC with almost exclusively adult mods, so yeah. Yeah, that definitely speaks to a part of my psyche that definitely needs to see a therapist. Yeah, I want that mod. I'm pretty sure I have that mod actually. I need to double check that. I may have it, but I haven't used it yet. I don't know.
I have a couple of special mentions that I don't use, and I personally do not have much of a desire to use, but because I think they are huge projects and they're great and they have to be mentioned. Now, one I do not have on this list because I just thought of it. I will go and find who did it, but I don't have the name for it right now, and I can probably look it up. But it is Dragon Age redesigned. Or no, not redesigned. I mean, that's a good one too, but that's not the one I was thinking of. Dragon Age Improved Atmosphere. And that one basically just makes everything cleaner, better looking. It enhances the graphics. And I did try to use it. However, it did not work for me. And the reason why it did not work for me is because there is a giant README that comes with it, because you may not want everything in it. And there are some things that will conflict with other mods, like you have to read this entire README and install stuff individually. I personally did not have the time to go through that. Once again, I just tried to install everything at once, and it did not work, and I ran into issues, and I had a bunch of people that were naked that I didn't want to be naked, and that is on me for not reading through it, but I didn't really want to take the time to read through it, and if I'm being honest, and I think it has to do with my graphics card, it did not improve stuff that much for me, so I just took it out because it didn't work for me, but it might work for you, and I do recommend it because it is a huge project. By the way, that is by Space Alex. Thank you, Space Alex. But definitely go check it out. If it's something that you have the time and patience to go through and install stuff individually, and it works for you, do it. It's great. And then the other one that I wanted to mention was the Sir Gilmore companion NP. Sir Gilmore is, the character that if you do Human Noble, he's like your friend and everything. He's adorable. He's great.
Oh my god, I love Sir Gilmore.
This mod is a huge undertaking. It is a fully voiced. They make him a companion, and you can even romance him. He's romanceable.
And the elf is 100% into this.
And Gimme. It's great because whoever made this mod, they chose someone to voice this character. They sound quite similar. And it's really great. It's a huge undertaking. I personally do not have a need to have Sir Gilmore in my party. But I think it's a great project. It's awesome, and I fully respect everything that they did. I don't remember if I said it, but if I didn't, then I will say it. That's by Immortality, the mod. Great. Go. If you want Sir Gilmore in your party, go check it out. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah. Link me to that on Discord later. Or I will be downloading that because one of my current playthroughs is as a Human Noble, and I was literally just thinking the other day when I was playing through, because I was just starting. I was literally just thinking the other day how fucking adorable, and I'll be completely honest, snog-worthy he is. Okay? So I'm like, yep, give me that.
And the person who voices Sir Gilmore is a good voice actor, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just awesome. So.
Good voice actors. They're few and far between.
And, once again, that's not a complete list. There are many other good ones out there. There are also, if you're looking for more sexy mods, there's a lot more out there, too. But yeah, those are just some of my personal favorites and the ones that I feel need to be mentioned. The mods for Dragon Age 2, the first one I want to mention because personally I think it is one of the greatest mods that exists for this, is the Dragon Age 2 Ultimate HD. It is similar to the improved atmosphere mod for Dragon Age Origins, I should mention, for both the improved atmosphere for Origins and the Dragon Age 2 Ultimate HD, for both of them, you have to download a large address awareness, or maybe it's awareness address, one of the two. It's an LAA patch, because both of the games are designed to run on 2 gigabytes of memory to load the game. But when you add in all this extra stuff, it's going to run out of memory very quickly, so you need to download those in order to make it run on 4 gigabytes of memory. So you do need extra patches in order to download those mods. I had the Dragon Age 2 Ultimate HD by Command Ben did work better for me, and I liked it, and I loved it. And I could actually see a difference, like there's like ivy growing everywhere. The detail is finer. There's much more detail into like the bricks on the ground and everything. You can see there's like dirt patches where there should be dirt patches. There's grout like within the tiles. Like it's just those. You can see the individual leaves. It's no longer like a green mess. Like it's great. Things look rustic where they're supposed to be rustic, rough around the edges where they should. Like, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and I think it greatly improves the game. The problem that I ran into it, and why I ultimately decided to take it out, is that there is some sort of issue with the NVIDIA graphics cards. If you have an NVIDIA graphics cards, if it's a certain one, it's like GeForce X something or whatever, it doesn't like it. So, if you want to, and it will only run on, because you can choose to play the game on DirectX 9 or DirectX 11. It will only run on DirectX 11, and it can still work, but the problem is my game would not full screen then. I could only play it in a very tiny screen. And it was very annoying, so I ultimately decided to take it out. But the problem is my graphics card. It didn't like it. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a computer issue. That is not a mod issue. So, if it'll work for you, I highly recommend it. But just make sure you have the LAA patch. And then, so, next ones are Story Mode by Sindahari. Story Mode is basically super easy mode. It makes easy very easy. And you go through it a lot faster. And then Litany of Adrala, also by Sindahari. And that is, once again, the insta-kill skip fight mod. You just, hit a button again, everyone's dead. And unlike Origins, everything comes in waves of 3, so you hit it once, everyone's dead, and then you have to wait for the next wave to come after you, hit it again, dead, another wave, dead. Like, it's,
yeah.
And the two specific ones that you can't use it on, you can't use it on Corypheus in the was it the Legacy DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
You can't use it on that, so you have to actually kill him. And you can't use it on Meredith. So you have to actually kill her.
Do you still get the XP?
Yes. Yeah, that's the other thing is you get all of the XP, you get all of the stuff, even with like the skip the fade, skip the deep roads, you get all of the XP and experience and everything. You get all of it, so you don't need to worry about that.
Because it would have been a bit of a bummer if you skipped all the fight, got to the end and had to fight Corypheus and died instantly because you were far too fucking weak. Like,
and honestly, if you have story mode, it's super easy because it's very easy. So so. Like I said, once again, that's personally for me, because I am a whiny baby who doesn't like to die and also doesn't like to kill. And then the next one is, I have not personally used this yet, because there are actually some mods in here that I have only recently downloaded, and I haven't used yet because I haven't booted up my game since installing it, but I do have them and I'm excited to try them. Is the Natural Skin by Honest Rope. Now there are several, I would say, like skin mods that give you more skin colors, but this one seems to be the best one. It unfortunately does not go as dark as I would say the skin tints need to go, but I think they were limited because if you go into Dragon Age, the darker skin tones are very few and far between. There's a lot of white ones, and there's not a lot of darker ones, and that's really sad. This gives you more options, while it doesn't give you as many dark ones as there needs to be. There's a lot more to choose from. So, thank you, Honest Rope. We definitely need that. We should not have to rely on mods for that. Thankfully, in Inquisition, they had a lot of darker skin tones to choose from, so they did fix that later on. But
and yet still not quite enough, in my opinion. But then again, this is coming as somebody who has watched the Sims community tear itself apart for the last 6 years over lacking skin tones. So
and then they finally did get them, and
yes, finally. This year.
It was actually even more than I thought we were gonna get.
Yeah, it was pretty
expensive. The fact that you can then save it and everything, I'm like, that's actually awesome.
The color sliders has possibly been one of the best updates in the game since it came out.
And then the makeup, so you can like match the makeup with the skin tone too. Yeah, that was great. So, we're glad that it exists. So, and we hope that BioWare will continue to improve the representation in each game, like they have been doing, so.
Yeah. And, when it comes to EA in general, here's hoping they start to buck up their ideas when it comes to skin tone across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Because, frankly, this thing with the Sims and then Dragon Age and stuff, it's becoming a bit of a pattern.
Which, by the way, I do want to point out while we're on this topic, because I've noticed it happening specifically for Fenris and Isabella. As much as we love modders, the people who make the skin lightening mods for Fenris and Isabella, especially, why?
Excuse me?
Yeah, they exist. There's fair-skinned Fenris and fair-skinned Isabella. Their skin doesn't need to be lightened. It's beautiful the way it is, and it's actually...
yeah, Isabella's got... right. Taking a moment to make a statement here. Isabella is quite easily, definitely in my opinion, the most beautiful female character in any of those games, and I will die on that hill, right? You already know, Rose, that I love Isabella. Like, there's a reason she's on my really want to romance list.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really want to romance Isabella. She's one of the most beautiful fucking characters in the entire game franchise. Why the fuck? It's the thing that I said earlier about, Colin and, Fenris.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
She's gorgeous the way she is. Leave her alone.
Mm-hmm. And while we're on the topic, we haven't gotten to Inquisition yet, but this kind of bleeds into it. There are also mods to make Dorian romance a female. And that's and like there's also mods to make Sarah romance a male. And it's why? It's not, I guess there's some argument out there where people will say, well, how is it any different than, like, a mod for Cassandra to romance a female? It's like, no, it's different because there's already so much representation for straight people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking a character that's already has so little representation as it is, and you're giving it representation that doesn't need any more.
Right, I'm gonna take a second to just hot take, right? Specifically when it comes to the Sarah and Dorian one. No, I have said on many an occasion that I would love to be able to romance Dorian with my main characters, which more often than not are female, right?
Yeah.
But using a mod in order to do that is what I consider to be the computer game version of conversion therapy and doesn't fucking belong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As someone who, up until a few years ago when I realised that I'm not actually bisexual, I'm sapiosexual, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who considered themselves bisexual for a long time and knows about bi-erasure in media,
yeah.
The last thing we need is to throw in there some erasure of the other letters in the alphabet. You know what I mean? There's no need for it.
Yeah.
I can understand the desire, but do not break a character's canon like that. It's I don't know, I have far too much respect for the characters to do that. I wouldn't do that to Sarah or to Dorian.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not the kind of person that would mod, and while I consider some of these relatively racist opinions to have for these characters, I wouldn't mod Solus to make him romance a human, or a dwarf, or a Kunari, or Cullen, or, any of the other ones that are race stuck. I wouldn't do that to them either.
As much as I don't like that Solus can only romance an elf, in a way, I think it almost makes sense because he's so, like, elves, like everything elves, if that makes sense. He's so elfy. So,
yeah.
And
why do you think I love him so much?
So,
why do you think I'm like, I'll help you tear down the veil? I'm down with that shit. Like, I'll do that.
And I think the other thing is only an elf would understand his point of views, I think is the other thing. So, but it's just like, I haven't romanced Dorian yet. I want to, even though I always play as a female because that is how I identify. When I play as Dorian, there's my alarm going off for me to take my meds. I will play as a male because I love Dorian and I want him and I will not download that mod because that's awful. And not only that, problematic issues aside, it's important to his story.
Yeah, very important to his story. It's like, I mean, I'm not being funny, but the entire reason why he's got the issue with this comes back to my comment just a couple of minutes ago. The entire reason why he has such a problem with his family at the beginning of the game is because his father tried to use blood magic as a form of conversion therapy. Now you're using a computer mod to do the same thing. How fucking dare you? Like, see, that's my opinion on it. And, if people are, pissed off with my opinion, come at me, bro, don't give a shit. Sorry, I don't. And I know that might make people dislike me or whatever, but no, this is...
Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but if you have an issue with that particular opinion of mine, you've got some serious problems.
If you have an issue with that opinion, you are probably not going to like this podcast.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you doing here?
The next mod is the backpack mod by Mikel 12345.
Yeah, you told me about this mod.
Yeah, it's just, it makes it so early on in the game you have maximum backpack capacity. Because if you're like me and you're not very good at managing your inventory, and suddenly
you're
find
like me and you're a fucking hoarder,
and you don't sell anything because what if you need it? I mean, this is.
Especially in Dragon Age 2, I am a fucking horrendous hoarder.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, it still only goes up to like 120 items, but still.
Yeah, but essentially, this is an essential mod. Like.
And then additional hair tints. I don't think there's enough hair colors. This is by. I am gonna butcher this. I know I'm gonna butcher this, but it's Hakems? I will have a link in the description, but I'm sorry, I butchered your name. I apologize. But it's a great mod because it gives you many more, hair colors. Yeah. So, there's not enough shades of brown, in my opinion, not enough shades of blonde, not enough shades of red, so...
Yeah, as someone who can never get their character's hair quite ginger enough, that will probably be handy for them.
And then Nightcrawler hairs by Veil's Mod and Chaos hairs by Anshela. They're both same thing. They're packs with a bunch of hairs in them. They look great. I love them. They're just beautiful. And then a couple of clothing mods. The Anthracite robe by Foxy Gen, or Foxy Gen. It might be Foxy Gen now that I think about it, but what? I think it's an absolutely beautiful robe. I love to put it on Bethany. It's one of my favorite like clothing mods. And then basically everything that Rogue Glass has in their mod inventory. They're all great. I have almost all of them. Like, I rotate through them. There's some really, really nice, sexy looking ones in there. There are some, I think, Witcher ones. It's a lot of good ones, so just some of my favorite clothing mods to have.
Sounds good. Like, I do like a bit of a change up in aesthetic once in a while. Especially when it comes to, like, outfits and stuff.
There's some really scandalous ones that I like.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're great.
Thou hast piqued my interest. Yeah, nobody can see your pervy eyebrows, Thorn.
This is just the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Where we're quite thirsty, and we also have political opinions.
Yep. Thorn makes puns and, like, double entendres. That's essential.
Moving on to Dragon Age Inquisition.
Ooh.
So, the first, and what I deem to be the most important one, is the War Table No Waiting mod, and they have it for all the DLC too. You know how when you go to the War Table and there are certain missions, and it's like, please come back in this many hours.
Q-Thorn heavy breathing right
this
now.
This is
like,
literally
yes.
like, the mission is done immediately. I think
Take my money.
there is one mission they had to make to last 1 minute in order to, like, avoid a bug or whatever. But other than that, everything else takes absolutely 0 minutes, 0 seconds. It's immediate. It's great. It's such a lifesaver. This is literally like, if you don't get any other mod, get this one.
Inquisition is my favorite game, but my least favorite part of the game is the War Table waiting times.
Well, now your game experience will improve.
I have legitimately changed the time on my PlayStation to make the time go faster.
Well, now you don't have to. And that was by Tahira. Thank you, Tahira. You have saved so many people.
Thank you so much in advance for the hours I'm going to save.
And then there's the No More Fog of War. I know, maybe this doesn't bother some people, but it bothers me. I hate it when you go into a new area and it's, like, completely, and in order to, like, you know, get rid of the little question marks and get rid of, like, the darkness, you have to actually travel. I want to know where I'm going already, so I don't have to waste time traveling around. The No More Fog of War gets rid of the Fog of War, and also has an optional mod where you can unlock the pins and see where the camps are, see where the Astrarians are, see where the caves are. Like, there's no question marks. Like, you just see where everything is.
Like, does this... Right, okay. Because I'm not sure my tiny mind can take this in. Right. Moment. Does this include craft supplies?
I don't think
the lumber yards and quarries. Because if not, then
maybe.
I mean, I'm still hyped.
When you said craft supplies, I thought you meant like obsidian.
No, I meant like lumber yards and quarries. Quite possibly the bane of my Dragon Age.
Quite possibly,
existence.
Actually.
Like
it shows where the landmarks are. It might. I haven't actually got into. Because when I downloaded Fog of War, I just downloaded Fog of War. I did not download the pins because I decided I did not care, and then I very quickly found out that I do care. So I have not played it with the unlocked pins yet. So I don't know.
The question I have to ask is, like, what were the people at BioWare smoking that made them do that in the first place?
Well,
because I'm not being funny, but the country has cartographers. There would be maps. We would have an idea of where we were going, because we would have a map. I
guess that's a good point to make. I think a lot of people seem to, because a lot of games have Fog of War, and a lot of games have the little pins that have question marks. I just played Greedfall. I have opinions on that.
Yeah, I remember hearing about your opinions.
I don't know if you've played it.
I'm so glad I can't go in and hear about it right now because I'm sick, but because I'm sure that's a rant and a half.
I don't know if you've played Greedfall.
I have not.
I feel like a lot of people who like Dragon Age either played or were interested in Greedfall, and it's a fairly short game. So I almost wonder if that would be a great bonus episode for us to cover, because once again, I have opinions. But
yeah, I can hear that in your tone of voice. I have opinions. like, okay.
Long story short, it's not as bad as I was afraid it was going to be, but there's still things about it that made me very mad. But yeah, so if you're ever interested in that, I'm willing to go on about it. I would like to do it with Thorn. If you ever, I think it's only a 40-minute game, so
you would like to do it with Thorn, would you?
I would.
Really?
Yes, I would.
Yeah,
I would very much enjoy it.
Yay!
But yeah, so that's a lot of games have that, and I think they were just utilizing the same old thing. A lot of RPGs have that, and that's just what they were doing. But I personally did not like it. I like to see where I'm going. I'm not going to get into it, but I hated the map in Inquisition. I hated the map, aside from the Fog of War. There was no top-down to tell me. It was just this freaking compass thing. There was no topography in the map.
Yeah.
I want the topography. I want to know where I can and can't go before I try climbing over a cliff and realize I can't go this way. I'm stuck.
Well, you can, but you'll die.
Yeah.
In Inquisition. I mean, because there's no invisible walls in Inquisition that much that I remember. Because if you want to talk about free roaming the plains of the world in Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm... One of the things that Alfred laughs about when it comes to me most often is that what the fuck is a path, right? What the fuck is a path? Forget paths. I'm mountain climbing, like, constantly.
I want the paths. I can't, I look at the map on Inquisition and I think, oh, I can just go this way. No, I have to go around a mountain, and then I have to go around this river, and then, no, give me a clear-cut. I just show me which way to go. I don't want to figure it out.
I'm all for the paths showing up on the map. I'm just saying my own personal playstyle is what even is a path. I'm going mountain climbing.
Yeah, I know, that's fine. You can have that possibility and also have a map that shows me the
absolutely.
path.
Absolutely. I'm just
anyway, that was no more fog.
Deep breaths.
I have opinions on maps.
I have opinions.
That was No More Fog of War by Thought of Nothing, by the way. I need to get that name in because I didn't say it, but
yeah, it's definitely a handy mod to download, I would imagine. So,
and then there's more banter by Jerry Bullitt.
Everybody wants more banter, surely.
There was an atrocious amount of banter in Inquisition. There was nowhere near enough, because that's one of the best parts of these games, and there was not enough. This makes it so it gets triggered every 15 minutes. The creator said that they tried to make it less than 15 minutes, but that was literally the shortest amount of time that they could do without causing issues, so it triggers every 15 minutes.
Okay.
I don't actually know if this works, because my problem is I download a couple other mods that make it so I never talk to my companions. Unintentionally. I did not realize that would be a problem, but I'll get into those mods.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's more healing potions by Sindahari. Once again, because I hate dying. I hate even the possibility of dying, the anxiety of possibly dying. These give you 20 healing potions instead of 8 or 12, as you can later get. Immediately in the beginning, you get 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like.
And then there's New Game Plus. This is another one that I have not personally used yet, but it's very well rated and sounds very promising. It's by Badkin. I actually have to open this link because I am not sure if I quite... It must have been interesting enough for me to put it on this list. when you use this combined with the Golden Nug, it lets you start off the game pretty much as powerful as your last Inquisitor. So you need to have already played through the game once. But then after that, you use this, and you're... Once again, this is just another mod to be like, can you get me through the game as fast as possible? Do I actually like Dragon Age? Yes, I promise. The problem is there are story cutscenes I care about, and romances I care about, and, like, story threads that I care about. I don't want the fighting.
No, I understand. It sounds quite similar to and I don't know if it's a universal thing for a lot of different games, but Dark Souls, that shit sandwich of a game, has a New Game Plus feature. So,
yeah,
because Alfred is a huge shit sandwich muncher. Sorry, Dark Souls player. I conflate the two. So, I've heard of that sort of effect before with him playing through that. So, that actually sounds pretty good. Like,
and then Quicker Looting by Tahira. This just removes the animation of looting, so you don't have to sit there and watch as your Inquisitor bends down, picks up the thing, and then stands back up. This just gets rid of it, so you just pick it up. There's no animation.
That's always handy to have little things like that.
Yeah, because it's like, it's so frustrating. It's like, just pick it up. Like, I don't need to see this. So, it's very handy to have. And then this one is the one I was the most excited for because it's, I would say, new-ish. Like, it's not new. It's been out for like a year and a half by now. But the thing is I have not played Inquisition for a very, very long time. So when the last time I played this mod was not out, and I'm excited that it is now available and I can use it.
Breathe, Rose!
It's like Skip Fights mod. It's the Skip Fights mod by Sindahari. Basically, it does the same thing. You don't fight. You just kill them instantly, and they're dead.
Oh, that's the one you were going on about the other day.
Yeah, and I'm starting to realize that the Sindahari character is a kindred spirit who hates dying and fighting, and I almost feel like these mods were made for me. Thank you, Sindahari. So, I haven't played Inquisition at this yet, but I'm very excited because it is a very long game, and I want to do all of the romances, but I haven't been able to because it's a very long game.
When I saw the notification come up in Discord the other day with you saying that you just discovered this mod, I was like, oh, Rose gonna explode.
Yep.
She's gonna explode with excitement.
I'm gonna see how fast I can play through Inquisition now.
No,
I will not be chasing after the shards because I do not care.
No, because
I literally have never unlocked the shards. So my very first playthrough, I think I got like all but 10. And then that computer stopped working. So I never figured it out, and I don't care to go and look for them again. I'll just look at what they open on.
I would be lying, right? If I said that I didn't want to at some point collect them all, but at the same time, I have the patience of a badger with its arse on fire. I would, not patient enough. I've never been patient enough up until this day to be able to do it. So,
I've heard a lot of stuff about that last shard in the hinterlands. So I imagine there's a couple that are practically impossible to get. However, leading into our next mod, I have a feeling that that's going to be fixed by the next two mods by Waveband, because we've got the No Boundaries mod and the Fly mod. You cannot use the Fly mod unless you have the No Boundaries mod. And this makes it so the No Boundaries removes like the places that you can't go. And the Fly is just as it says, you fly. And this is why I never hear banter, because if you are high enough in the air where you are flying, you do not hear your companions talk to each other. And this is also great because these two mods make it so you can find sort of Easter eggs the developers created. The one in particular I'm thinking of is, I think it's a snowman and a plate of pancakes. Below Skyhold. If you glitch through the floor, which you can do easily with the No Boundaries mod.
I've glitched through the floor on many an occasion.
If you glitch through the floor in Skyhold, you find the pancakes and the snowman. Maybe it's not a snowman. There's a top hat. I don't know, there's something. I feel like there's a top hat. I don't know where I'm getting the snowman from, but maybe it is. I don't know. But it's funny.
Snowmen wear top hats.
You find funny stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there,
that actually does sound like fun, like.
If you want to get through the game even faster, those are very helpful. And they'll maybe help you get that last shard of the hinterlands.
I would imagine that the fly mod probably would, yeah.
But you need the No Boundaries to use the fly. So, yeah. So, there's those. And then the increased inventory capacity, once again, because I can't sort through my crap, and I can't...
for bigger backpacks.
It's good for hoarding. This one, I think, goes to like 5,000 items. Increased inventory capacity. There's actually a few different ones. The one I have on here is the one by... Oh, I'm gonna butcher this. Apologies. I'm sorry, but I will link it. I'm sorry that I'm butchering this. By Eham Loptirin. And the reason why I have this particular one on the list and not other ones is because this is the one that worked for me. There were a couple that I could not get to work, but this one worked. So if one doesn't work, I'm sure you'll find another one that does. And then there is the open all hollow doors. You know those doors in the Winter Palace? You need the hollow statues open. I can never find all of them.
Yeah, me either.
I feel like there's always a couple that I'm missing. And so this makes it so you don't need to find them. The doors are just open and you can just go in there. So.
Awesome.
Party at the Winter Palace. This, from what I saw, it seemed like this was originally by Safim, but for some reason, either that creator no longer has an account there, or they deleted it, but it was originally created by that, but Starrate uploaded it with Safim's permission. So it'll be under Starrate's page, just know that it was originally by Safim. I haven't used this one yet, but I'm excited for it, really excited. Basically, while you have, like, the 3 companions that you can bring with you, this makes it so all of your companions are at the Winter Palace, and you can interact with them and stuff and do everything, so they're all there. The next couple are just clothing mods, because I love clothing mods. There's Inquisitorial Fashion. There's a lot of, like, Winter Palace dress mods. This one is my particular favorite. Basically, you can choose to have different colors of the Inquisition outfit. And also, I believe there's a dress with this one too. So if you want your Inquisitor to wear a dress, it's in here. I actually think I switched between this dress and then the one for the next one, which is the SK Dress Retexture and Mesh Edits by Scaramouche, because I like both these dresses. I sort of flip them. One game I'll use one, the next one I'll use the other one, and one of them, it's the same dress, but it's in different colors, so you can change the color. So,
I like the sound of that. Because, I mean, there are definitely times when I would like to be, in a dress.
Yeah,
but
I'm like, I want to wear a dress. Why can't I wear a pretty ball gown? I'm in Orlais, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and then I actually think with the inquisitorial fashion, I believe you also get a different kind of mask with that too. So you can wear a mask. It's very nice.
Very nice.
And then the Skyhold lace pajamas. There's a lot of different like pajamas that you can wear in Skyhold. The outfits. This particular one is my favorite. This is by Shepshai. And there's a bunch of different lace pajamas. I love them. They're also pretty. I have nothing more to say than that. They're pretty. But there's a ton of different ones on there. I'm sure you'll find something that you like.
You are speaking this elf's language. I'm currently in my pajamas. Right now.
I'm in yoga pants, but...
I pretty much live in pajamas right now,
So, that concludes my favorite Dragon Age mods list. I guess I don't know how else to end it. There's a lot more than what I mentioned, but those are just some of my favorites. So
it's quite a comprehensive list of
check
the ones
them out.
That you think, yeah, do that, people. Do that. Right. Which leads us somewhat seamlessly onto my little segment. Sims 4 Dragon Age mods and custom content. Now, a lot of these were sourced from either the Sims resource, which is a fantastic place to pick up Sims 4 custom content. Legitimately. I believe they have quite a few mods on there as well, but most of the mods that I have for it have come from other places. Just on the point of just random mods, sacrificial mods are some of the best mods out there.
Yep, I know about that.
Everybody knows about the sacrificial mods. And don't get me started on Wicked Whims, that could be your on it. Anyway.
I don't think I used most of them because, personally, my Sims experience, I guess I don't like to have, real-life drama or, anything to be super sexy or whatever. I just like to be a little whimsical or whatever, but, I don't know. That's just me. I don't like the violence mod or anything like that. I don't like a lot of the Wicked Whims ones, but I do have some. I have the Slice of Life mod.
I've got them all. I fully plan on making one of my Sims a serial killer at some point. But that's by the by.
It's good for story content, if you want to make a story with your Sims.
Yeah.
So
definitely. Right, we shall begin with some build and buy custom content.
I'm most excited for this because I don't think I have any build or buy custom content, especially not Dragon Age ones. So,
right. Well, the first two I'm going to start off with are not actually specifically Dragon Age related, but they can be used in conjunction with base game stuff to make a pretty damn convincing Skyrim.
Do you have links for this stuff so I can see them?
I do. I will send the links. There are a lot of links. I don't have them all in front of me right now, but I do have them.
Okay.
I will get them to you at some point.
Okay.
Right. These. First of all, I'm going to talk about a couple of stuff packs which come from the Plum Bob Tea Society, and that is cottage garden stuff and rustic romance stuff. These are stuff packs. They are full of items, to the point where they actually feel like they're gonna burst. All sorts of stuff from Create-A-Sim options for hairs, different outfits, and really beautiful build and buy items. I would genuinely suggest if you are gonna try and build your own version of Skyhold, you probably should download either these packs or something like them. Next, by SaraWolfSims, we have the Dragon Age Inquisition Wall Art pack, and these are essentially versions of the paintings that Eggman does in Skyrim. and they are fucking beautiful. The detail in them is so good. Seriously. These, I'll make sure that the links for these are all in the description. If they weren't taken from the Sims resource, I probably got them from either Tumblr or Mod the Sims.
Okay.
So, just throwing that out there. Then, by Divadoom, we have the Elven Glory Pack. Now, this is pretty much all the stuff from the Elven Encampment in Dragon Age Inquisition as items that you can... I'm not sure if you can use them, because I haven't had much use out of this, if any. No, I haven't had any use out of this yet, because I'm planning a Dragon Age in The Sims Let's Play at some point on one of my other channels, so I haven't done that yet. So watch it for that and you'll see them. But it's absolutely beautiful, like Aravel's and Hala and the whole 9 yards. Absolutely beautiful. By Yuxi, we have the Illuvian, and this thing's absolutely stunning. It is so... I didn't expect that modders would be able to get this as close to my memory of what the Illuvian looked like. And it's... I think it's modelled on the Illuvian from Origins, but I'm not 100% sure. I would have to see if I could look into that further, but it's an absolutely beautiful piece. Absolutely stunning. I'm definitely going to be having it in my game. Now, I'm going to admit that right now I cannot remember where I got these mods from. I've got thrones. Dragon Age Inquisition thrones. I can't remember where I got them right now. These were a while back. I'm going to have to look into it. But when I find them, I will link them in the description. You can get a 2-story throne, the Ferelden throne, the Chantry throne, the Inquisition throne, and something called a Dragon throne, which I do believe I have seen. I took them out in my game the other day and I had a look at them, and they are gorgeous.
Did you ever get all of the thrones in Inquisition?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either.
I haven't yet, no. I really want to, though.
I don't think I've even seen all of them.
I don't think I've seen all of them either. Right, anyway. That is all of the building by stuff. Now we move on to create a sim. So, for cast, we'll start with the traits that I've found so far. I fully intend on getting more, but at the moment we have the Grey Warden trait and the Templar and Mage traits, and these are on Mod the Sims. Now I remember this because it was something I was looking up recently because I wanted to double check something. And these include buffs, like you can get proximity buffs from being around mages if you're a Templar, and for being around Templars if you're a mage.
Why don't you explain what a buff is? Because that's something I only recently learned.
Right. Okay. A buff is like it's like a mood change.
Like when you go into a room and it's well decorated, and you're like, oh, it's well decorated.
If it's well decorated, then you'll be happy because you're in a well decorated room. If it's decorated with inspirational things, then you'll be inspired. If it's got romantic things, you'll feel romantic or flirty. So those are buffs, right? In this one, there's one called There's Something Weird About That Sim, which that's a Templar buff from being around mages, along with mages nearby buff. And they also get a buff from ghosts. So it also comes with like skill needs and career boosts, career increases, relationship increases, and that's for all of, well, that's certainly for the mage and Templar traits. I can't remember right now for the Grey Warden trait. Apologies for being so useless.
No, you're not useless. We'll get them. We'll get the links for them. This is Sims 4, by the way.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, there are mods out there, Dragon Age related mods out there for The Sims 3.
We're talking specifically for, though.
Yeah, but we're talking specifically for because it is the most up-to-date game. And the one that I play obsessively like some sort of weirdo. Now it's time for custom content, hair, and clothing. Thorn's favourite. Straight up from Kaizoku Gal, we have Dorian haired mustache. And this was I needed this. I needed all of these, to be completely fair. I needed all of these.
Mm-hmm.
It was required. And Kaizoku Gal also did Cassandra hairstyle, Morrigan hairstyle, Sarah hairstyle, and my personal favourite, Cullen hairstyle.
Of course it's your personal favourite.
Well, yeah, of course. And speaking of my darling Cullen, Moonglitch made custom content of Cullen's scar, which I think is a particularly fantastic piece of like intricate detail to add to your created sim to really make him look like Cullen. Lunar Eclipse also created Zevran's full character, Isabella's full character, Anders' full character, and the one that I already know Rose has, Fenris, as a full-fleshed out character. And I cannot wait to play with these characters in my game. Genuinely cannot. I am actually really feeling quite motivated for this Dragon Age related Sims 4 Let's Play that I'm going to be doing. So, especially when you take into, can I just say by the way, these characters are absolutely beautiful. Like, I didn't think
they're gorgeous.
I genuinely didn't think that people would be able to get them so spot on, but they are stunning. Like,
for the
Fenris is that tree even I want to climb right now, okay?
He's what?
Fenris is that tree that even I want to climb right now. He's gorgeous. Seriously.
The thing is like, typically when it comes to, like, the only time I really download custom content for Sims is if I, like, really, really badly want something or need something in the Sims. Like, I don't go out of my way to... Usually I can be like, oh, I can just use this instead of this or whatever. Like, with the Sims characters, there's, like, for Anders, there's, like, the, like, the hair with the little ponytail in the back. Like, I'm like, I can just use that, and I can just give him an earring to make him look like... He won't look exactly like him, but it'll be close enough where I'm satisfied. Mm-hmm. The problem with, specifically Zevran and Fenris is that I could not find stuff that looked good enough that like was even close to their appearance. Now, I mean, I actually used a different hair for Zevran than the one that came with his model because I thought it looked weird on the sim body that I was using. But the problem is I needed the tattoo because he could not have the tattoo on his face, which is why I downloaded that. But Fenris, there was not a hair that even came close, and he needed the tattoos. And that's why I specifically went out and downloaded these two. The others, I was like, I could work with, fine. And I downloaded a few tattoos, like, like the Valicine. I downloaded some of those, especially for, like, Meryl. And with that pack came, like the hawk nose smudge, and the
is this
Tranquil.
Is this No, well, that's not the, because I've got some, SourWolf Sims did, a load of facial tattoos, the Dwarven Commoner and Noble tattoos from Dragon Age Origins, the Kunari Vitar, and, the, NPC tattoos from Vilana, Zevran, Meryl, Hawk, and Sigrun.
Now, possibly, because I think I have 3 different packs. It's possible I have one of those, but I also have the Tranquility Sun forehead mark as well, but yeah. Those are, really the only ones that I've downloaded, though.
I have several Valasline packs. But I'm an elf, what do you expect?
I think I only got a couple. But mine is more of options. If I need it, I will go and seek it out type of thing. Yeah. So
I absolutely understand where you're coming from. By the way, I just wanted to point out that the Anders sim is absolutely stunning. Like,
I believe it.
Genuinely, he is gorgeous. Seriously, just throwing that out there. Anyway, right. SourWolf Sims also did a Valasine in their NPC in their NPC tattoos and other packs. Because they have packs of tattoos. Again, I'll say it again. DAO Dwarven Commoner tattoos.
I think I have the SaraWolfSims ones. But I have a couple other, because there were a couple where I like those tattoos better than the ones in this pack, and I downloaded those, but...
Oh, excuse me for continuing to yawn. I'm getting a bit tired here, you know. Needs must. Yes. While I was able to find Colin's scar, Colin's hair, and Colin's outfit, all by different CC creators, I haven't found a downloadable Colin. And, not gonna lie, it's a bit heartbreaking.
Well, I guess, maybe it's not the best or the answer that you're looking for. I guess in my case, because I've done this with a couple, is I found a sim that looked most like them, like the way they designed their face or whatever, and downloaded that one, and then I gave them, the hair and the outfit and, all of that to try it. Obviously, it's a little more work than just downloading one, but it's an idea, I guess.
No, I get you. It's an option, but, somebody make my boy for me. Oh, yeah, and, BioWare, give me my game.
There it is!
Oh, it was a slow burner tonight, but I got there. I will not forget
about it. That's the funny thing.
I will never ever forget. I will never forget until I get my game. Give me my game, BioWare. Anyway, yes, back to the Create a Sim items. Plaza Sims created some absolutely gorgeous outfits for Morrigan, Alistair, Isabella, and Colin, and genuinely, I'm genuinely looking forward to romancing Colin a smidge more in The Sims 4 right now than I have been in Dragon Age Inquisition since last year. So, I've been actively avoiding Colin since the end of last year. So,
yeah.
Not playing those games right now. But those outfits are absolutely beautiful. If you are in any way, shape, or form a Dragon Age fan, go and download these custom contents and mods because you want them. You want them. I'm just telling you the facts, people. Yes. Speaking of my Valasline packs, right? There's a beautiful Valasline pack by Habby Sims, right? And they're absolutely beautiful. There are different options. They come in different colours. They look as though the Sims team put them in the game themselves. And I am really looking forward to using Valenstein for my characters. But all of these come with a recommendation from me. Apologies if they don't work. My PC is getting a bit up there. It's a refurbished PC, so it's not on its last legs, but it's not exactly brand spanking. Now, this is where we get to a hell of a list, and I won't go into all of them because they're just far too much. But as this is just a little chucked on at the back end of this episode because I am a bit of a Sims nerd, I will put a special shout out to one particular custom content creator who goes by the name of Proud Rose. Now, this individual has created on the Sims resource some of the most beautiful reproductions of Dragon Age armor that I have ever seen. There's the Elysian battle dress worn by Vivienne, Sarah's armor, Blood Promise, the Trickster's tunic. They have a build and buy tile for like your kitchen or your bathroom that is Orlesian tile, and it's so cute. I want it. I want it for my house.
Through them right now.
I want the Orlesian tile for my house, right? We've got Chanter robes, outfits from Where the Heart Lies. We have Queen's gown, the first Enchanter's robe. They have the vestments of the Seer. You know, this individual has created some absolutely beautiful custom content, which I think any Dragon Age fan who has a passion for recreating anything that they are particularly drawn to.
I need to say something.
Games. What?
I'm looking through their version of Orsino is really hot.
That did kinda. I was like, oh, this. I'm having feels I've never had before. Mildly disturbing. Like, my concern would be, does he turn into some amalgamation monster and end up trying to kill me? Like, mildly disconcerting.
I'm a little.
Although, frankly, he's so pretty, I wouldn't mind if he was trying to eat me. So.
Oh!
Oh my god, I just realised how bad that sounded. Fucking hell. That is not what I meant, people. Normally, I would encourage the idea that my mind is that far in the gutter, but legitimately, that was not what I was going for.
That was wonderful.
Oh. Have you ever put your foot down and, like, Freudian slipped? Like,
I think I have on this podcast.
Yeah. Let's be honest here, when it comes to the guys of Dragon Age, we're just walking Freudian slips.
Yeah.
Like, it all comes out. I think that's all of it. Don't you, my dear?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah?
If you're done with your Sid stuff, I mean...
I am indeed. I have come to the end of my list. I have far too much custom content in my game.
I have too much custom content in my Dragon Age games. Like, I'm afraid to put any more in, because I'm afraid it's gonna, like, crash or something, but...
I'd be lying if I didn't admit right now that most of my custom content in The Sims is Doctor Who related.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
This is
the list there is endless.
I guess this is sort of, like, part 2 of the Dragon Age community, like, sort of art and appreciation stuff, because this is a form of art. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Ever in a million years do modding this way. Like, it's gorgeous. It helps to make the game aesthetically better, as well as, it makes it aesthetically better, as well as, like, just improves the gameplay and so many things. Like, makes it so much easier to get through, and just quality of life stuff. And, it's amazing. Like, we appreciate all of it. It's,
We absolutely do. Like, seriously, you guys make the place so much better. You really do.
We love this community. We've said it before. We'll say it again, and we'll keep saying it. Like,
we love you! I will. Seriously, Corpse Husband's gonna sue me. He's gonna be like, you are ruining my life! Seriously!
Well, are you
Oh God, please, right, okay, I'm just gonna say right now, please God, somebody do not clip that and then put that out on the internet being like, this person said Corpse Husband's trying to sue them, blah blah blah, because Corpse Husband has been through a fucking enough recently, okay? Leave the man alone! Anyway. Sorry, I just needed to say that. Because I had this horrible thought of somebody taking that out of context and posting it on Twitter and blowing the fuck up and me going, well, that is not what I said, what the fuck? And I do, I so feel for Corpse Husband. Man, he doesn't deserve the shit he gets thrown at him.
Yeah.
So completely off topic, but you know.
Yeah, I think that's it. You know?
Yeah.
And, yeah. So.
Time for Thorn's question of the week. I think we're just going to change this to Thorn's question of the week. Cause
okay.
More often than not, I'm the one that comes up with them. You come up with the topics, I come up with the questions.
The topics are a group effort.
Yeah. Well, yes, we decide on them as a group, but you come up with them. Do you not realise that I am explaining to the world just exactly how much of an, integral cog to this machine you are? I am useless at coming up with conversation topics for the podcast, and you know this.
No.
Oh, yes, I am.
You are very important to this podcast. You are 50% of this podcast.
I know I am.
Okay, I just don't want you devaluing yourself on this.
Oh, no.
Okay, good.
Everybody knows that the audience would not be able to get a wit, like, they wouldn't be able to deal without my witty repartee.
No. It would literally just be me thirsting over Fenris the entire time, and that's not something that I think maybe 3 people in the world want to hear that.
Let's be frank here. Let's be completely frank here. Essentially, all the podcast is you and me bitching back and forth at each other about things we don't like, or thirsting over our boys. Let's not lie. And that is what people are listening to, and they seem to be quite happy with it, so I'm not gonna, again, I've said it a couple of times this episode, and I'm gonna say it again, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it.
Well, we'll get into, later on, other topics.
Oh, yeah, the heavier topics.
The heavier.
They're coming.
Life has just sort of delivered something of a blow.
Yeah, when life takes a cactus and rams it up your butt, that's a moment when you're like, I'm gonna take a minute here.
Yeah.
And that's what we had to do, so...
And we needed a way to ease back into it, so...
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. Like a warm bath after you've been outside in the freezing cold. Not too hot, because you don't want the itchy pain, but warm enough to get rid of that chill. Yeah?
Yep.
Yes. Anyway, so now, time for Thorn's question of the week. If you are someone who does download and play with mods and custom content, either for Dragon Age or for The Sims, but we're about Dragon Age up in here, come on. If you are a mod or CC user, who is your favourite creator and your favourite piece?
And link them so we can go look at them.
Yes, please, because I am greedy for CC and mods. Seriously, my computer is going to die one day. I'm just going to turn it on and it's going to go, nope. Nope. I am full of mods on CC that you never use. No. So yes, please send us all of your custom content and mod suggestions. We'd love to hear about it in the comments section down below. Thank you all so much for joining us for this conversation. If you stayed to the end, you're a legend, and if you've enjoyed yourselves, make sure to smack that like button on the tube of you with a quick stone fist and subscribe. Ring the ding-a-ling so you get all of our uploads there, and if you don't, well then may the Dreadwolf take you.
We do hope you'll join us again, and if you're listening somewhere other than YouTube and want to make sure you can, please do subscribe or follow, rate us, and leave a review.
We love to hear what you guys have to say. It helps us to make this podcast better for you, and at the end of the day, that means a lot to us. If you want to contact us, you can follow us on our Twitter at LOTFDAPOD, or feel free to email us at LeftOfTheFade@gmail.com.
We hope you have a fantastic week ahead, and with all the blessings of Andraste and the Maker.
And the light of Elgarnan and Nathal to guide your way, may Silays keep your Arabelle warm and full.
Remember that you're ridiculously awesome. We'll see you next time we journey to the left of the fade.
Goodbye!
Goodbye!